Have you ever felt like you've lost your way? Like you're stumbling through life, unsure of who you truly are or where you're meant to be? I've been there, lost in a maze of self-doubt, self-sabotage, and uncertainty. I reached a point where I didn't recognize the person staring back at me in the mirror. But then I discovered something powerful, my chart. I know that might sound a little bit cuckoo, that might sound a little bit wackadoo, but here is the thing. If it wasn't for me learning about my natal chart at the time that I did, I don't think I'd be where I am today. I don't even think I would be as powerful as I am today as a person, because at that time in my life when astrology came to me, when I discovered it, I honestly was not looking for it anywhere. Here's the real thing that I'm talking about. When it comes to your natal chart, I never really knew a bunch about it until I actually ran into a professional astrologer / healer when I was living in Vancouver, Canada. Little did I know. She caught me crying one day, and when she asked me like what was wrong, like, are you okay? I said to her, no, like it's okay, like I don't want to talk about it, because I didn't know her that well, that's first, but secondly, it would be a waste of her time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, I told her it's okay, I don't want to annoy you, I don't want to waste your time, let's just go back to work. And then literally the most precious thing that I've ever heard any human say or come out of their mouth, she said to me, well, I do have 2 ears, so I can lend you one so I can listen. That to me literally made me stop in my tracks, made my heart flutter, skip a beat, do all the great things, and made me realize that holy shit, someone actually cares. This stranger actually cares. And at that point, since then, it has changed my entire perspective on how I view life, on how I live it, and how I want to stand in my truth. Hence why I'm making this video, because I am dying to teach everyone watching this video on how to do it for themselves, on how to gain some empowerment back in their lives, how to go into a journey of self-discovery using the art of the natal chart in astrology. And the beauty of this is that I've created a series where I'm going to be teaching you how to do that for yourself, how to dive into your own natal chart, how to use that to your advantage for self-discovery, for self-growth, for self-development, all the things that as humans we crave, which is evolution, which is growth. I want you to know, when I discovered my natal chart, I discovered something powerful. I found a roadmap back to my truest self, and I had no clue what I was about to embark on journey-wise when I first discovered it. Little did I know that was the very start of my own personal healing journey at 19 years old. Astrology was the thing that pushed me to dip my first toe into the healing realm, into the beauty of self-discovery, into the beauty of discovering who I truly am, what my power truly holds as a human, what I'm really capable of in life, because it made me see my life in a completely different way, in ways that I never thought was possible without someone else calling it out for me. I'm gonna be teaching you how to dive into your natal chart in the same way that I did, so that you can reclaim your power, so that you can overcome any self-sabotage that you may be going through right now in life, because I know we all have a self-sabotaging tendency that we must break. Everyone has something, a bad habit, a bad thought pattern, a bad tendency of some kind that they want to overcome to be the best version of themselves that is possible. And the only way we can do that is by uncovering it all, uncovering the truth, finding the roots, finding the truth, and learning more, diving deeper into ourselves. And it's about having the courage to take that first step or dip that first toe into the realms of healing. And that is why I'm starting this channel. That is exactly why I'm starting this first series, because I have many more series to come moving forward. And this is exactly one of those beautiful things, aspects, categories that I used to help me be the version of who I am today. I want to help you all do the same. I feel like we all deserve to wake up from this crap that reality has been feeding us, that we are not powerful enough, that we can't do this, that we can't do that, that no, you have to stay in this box and conform, when in reality, you are beautiful as you are. Every butterfly is not the same. And every eye, all our eyes, they all don't match for a reason. If you take a nice close look into your eye, you're going to notice something that every other eye color in the world of someone who has the same one, they don't have. And that's the beauty of individuality. That's the beauty of you. That's the beauty of your authenticity in a metaphor. That is what I want to help you uncover for yourself. And again, my loves, I need you to understand something. Throughout my life at 19 years old, I was going through a lot of things. I was going through a lot of addictive tendencies, a lot of self-sabotaging habits, a lot of things. I was especially in a relationship, and I was not the best person in that relationship to start. So I want you to know that when astrology was introduced to me in the way that it was, when this person showed me there's this thing called spiritual healing, that you can have a job called a healer, like what? But when it came to astrology, it helped me wake up from this lost sense of self that I was having in my life. And it helped me remember that this identity that I shaped around these addictive tendencies, around the self-sabotage, was not me. It was an old story I was feeding to myself over and over and over again. I was stuck in a cycle that was not doing me any good, and it was keeping me exactly the same and not growing at all. But then when astrology came into my life, it showed me, you are this, you are that. You are all these other things, and all these things that you always thought you weren't worthy of being. It woke me up and made me want to be more curious about who I am. It's the thing that pushed me to want to understand myself in levels that I never thought was possible without therapy. I do therapy, and I am a big advocate for it. What I am saying though is, if you are someone who is hesitant to do therapy, I felt like astrology was something that personally helped me get to do that in a way where I didn't feel like I was forced, because I feel like as humans, we are always curious to see what the world has to say about who we are on a personal level, and astrology kind of, again, helps you want to see that. Helps you want to say, why the hell do these balls of different gases and elements and rocks are affecting me in the way that they are? But again, I want you to remember, keep this in mind, guys. Astrology has not just been here for this modern time. Astrology has been existent since over 5,000 years ago. During the Mesopotamian era, astrology has evolved in so many different ways throughout the world. There are so many different kinds of astrology. There is not just one, there is many different ways. In modern times right now, the astrology that is being used is esoteric or modernized astrology. Modernized astrology is as it is. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it, and that is why I'm not the biggest fan of people that only use it to put themselves in a box. So for example, if you say you're a Pisces, you are not just a Pisces. You are all the signs into one, but with little mixes of each thing. And that's why I see astrology as an opportunity to help people grow, not to limit them. We gotta change the way we see that. Instead of putting labels on ourselves throughout life, we gotta start empowering, expanding our mentality, stepping out of our comfort zones. And astrology can help you do just that, because it's gonna make you look at areas in your life that maybe you never thought of looking into in that way, in that light, in that perspective before, without it calling you out. All right, so with that being said, let's dive into it. All right, so when it comes to looking into your own natal chart and wanting to get that own information, what you're going to need is the time you were born, where you were born, and when you were born. Obviously, we all know when we were born, right? Unless you don't know when your birthday is, which I bet is very not a thing. Anyways, moving on to that. When it comes to finding the right link for you or the right website for you to put this information down, I have my favorite websites put down below in the description box. But with that being said, using whichever link or whichever website that you prefer, putting all that information down, you're gonna see a nice big wheel or chart circle thing that you're gonna see, basically showing you exactly where the planets were in the sky at the time you were born. You're also gonna probably be seeing some whack lines all over the place. Those lines typically are talking about aspects. Aspects are something that, again, we are definitely gonna be talking about in a much farther down the road video, and I'm not trying to overwhelm anybody, so let's take it slow here, please. Little by little, healing is a process, not an event, okay? With that being said though, as you get all that information, you're gonna see the wheel. Wherever you are, you're also gonna see a chart. That chart is exactly what I want you to look at. You're gonna find the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto in that chart, especially maybe if you're lucky, depending on the link you use. You will also see some asteroids there as well, especially something called Lilith or your black moon. Again, something we'll talk about in a very different video. You're gonna see two charts. Typically, you're gonna see one with just the planets and then another one with numbers. You're gonna see numbers from 1 to 12. Those are called house placements. In that chart, you're going to see 1 to 12, One is your ascendant sign. You're gonna see next to one the exact sign that is in your first house, which is your ascendant, okay? Definitely do some research on your own. It is so easy to look up and do some digging when it comes to your natal chart, and I feel like a lot of people get very confused, and this is where they stop getting to understand themselves a little better when it comes to astrology, because it's like a brain fart moment. Guys, let's not forget, this is the internet. We're in the age of AI, okay? Like, there is a lot of things that we can do on our own right now that we are forgetting about, okay? So what I want you to do, look it up. Look up your sun sign, look up your moon sign, and look up that first house. Look up those placements on the internet, literally in your search bar. Enter it, and you're gonna find lots of beautiful things there that's going to be telling you exactly word for word in detail about those placements. That is your first step to getting to want to understand yourself in a deep healing way, in a self-discovery way, in a new light. Key components that I would want you to be looking into would be the sun, the moon, and your rising sign. Those are the three things that I would want you to be looking into to start your journey when it comes to looking into your natal chart. The reason why I'm saying those three to start is because the rising sign, your ascendant, it might be shown up on your chart. It might be called ASC dot. Basically, that is how you're portrayed or how you portray yourself on the outside, on the external. So what that means is, like, when you walk out the door, how do you dress up? How do you want to portray yourself? How is your persona exemplified throughout your day on a day-to-day basis in the public? That is when it comes to your rising sign. But when you look at it in a deeper way, which is what we're definitely going to be looking into in this series, I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. Ascendant is also known as the highest version of yourself that you can possibly become on astrological terms. But you got your ascendant, like I said, and you also have your sun sign as well as your moon. Sun sign is, think about it. The sun, everything is revolving around the sun as we speak. Sun is exactly that. It is your personality, how you like to describe yourself. This is who you are in and out. And you can also see it as your ego, because your ego is the thing that makes you have your human experience, right? It's the mask that you put on. It's the car that you drive to have the human experience that we have here on Earth. But it's also the thing that can give us some issues if we're not too careful with it, or if we're not too aware about having an ego, right? Which most of us are not the best at being aware of, because we're humans and we make mistakes, right? That is where the sun sign comes in. Then with your moon sign, it is the complete opposite. It is who you are when no one else is watching. It's who you are when no one else is in the room with you. It is who you are with your closest friends, your family members. And moon sign is also a very important area to be looking in when you are trying to understand what works best for you in terms of self-care routines, rituals, and little practices you can do to honor yourself, to honor you in the most loving way possible. And again, that is something we'll be diving into in a much different video. Once you found that out, take a look, see what pops up, see what resonates, see what doesn't. Remember, when it comes to looking at your natal chart, you can't just be looking at very specific placements. You need to look at the whole thing and look at the whole picture. Combine everything into one. Because that's why, like, when it really comes to astrology as a whole, especially with your natal chart, there is so much more than meets the eye to it. And that's why I'm very against people that look at their horoscope and they're just looking at their sun sign and thinking, oh, I don't align with it, so astrology isn't my thing. When in reality, girl, man, whoever you are watching this, you're not looking at the right things. And the world has educated us about astrology completely falsely. And this is why I am here to help you do that for yourself. If by any chance you end up looking into your natal chart information today, I would love it if you can send me in the comments down below what your sun sign is, what your rising sign is, as well as your moon sign. And if you would like to give me some house placements too with them, I can send you a comment back, tell you a little bit about what I'm seeing there. But we are definitely going to be diving into the house placements, what the planets typically mean, all the basics, and all the in-depth stuff in this series moving through. As this is the first video, I can't wait to dive into the rest, but I don't want to overwhelm people because, again, astrology, remember, there are literal schools for astrology to become a professional astrologer where you have to be there for at least 4 years. Think about it. 4 years is like 4 years of high school, 4 years of college. 4 years to become a professional astrologer is kind of insane. Okay, let's think about that. So yeah, there is a lot of information. For me personally, I did do a lot of this stuff self-taught. And for me, it has been doing a lot of benefit for me, especially with clients, people that I've worked with. It helps a lot of people with their healing journey. And that is exactly why I'm here today, to show you how to do just that. So we don't got to go to 4 years. to become a professional astrologer. All right, so sending you guys so much love. Please, again, don't forget to subscribe if you are interested in keeping up with this series and getting to learn more, okay? This is Ahimsa here, sending you guys so much love. Bye.